A mother's compassionate love for her child. In the animal kingdom, the mobility of a lioness and her cub is that she carries it in her mouth. The mobility of a kangaroo and her little one is that she carries it in her pouch. The mobility of an orangutan and her kid is that on her back sits the young orangutan. But in the human kingdom, the mobility of a mother and her infant is that she carries her child in her hand. A mother's compassionate love for her child goes hand in hand. A mother's hand has a gentle touch. Her baby's hair she loves to brush. She goes to buy baby and buy many stuff. At times she prepares to be breastfeed with the breast pump. Her nipples sore from all those push, unfortunately not coming up with much. As a result, the nutrient for the baby wouldn't be enough. A mother's compassionate love for her child goes a far way. She gets up every morning, night, and pray, so her children won't go astray. But aren't we like sheep who have gone astray? But anyway, the Bible said to pray without ceasing, and I guess that's what she's seeking. She thinks like Esther, if I perish, I perish, but I'm going to see the king. Like Rizpah, after her sons were hung, she prevented the birds and bees from her sons to be eaten. Like Mary, after the angel told her she's going to have a son, she replied, I'm your handmaiden. A mother's compassionate love for her child raises her hands to worship. Like Hannah, she dedicated her child to the house of God to fellowship, and subsequently teaching her child, with God you need a relationship, knowing one day her child can become a dentist, a podiatrist, an archaeologist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a gynecologist, a urologist, a nutritionist, a biologist, a scientist, or better yet, an evangelist like John the Baptist. A mother's compassionate love for her child, we can go on for a mile about her style by pulling up her profile. But in the meanwhile, please understand, she's not like the animals in the wild, but more civilized. Thus, a mother's compassionate love for her child is worthwhile.